Hi, we are back one more time with David Meerman Scott, my friend and author and keynote speaker. And we are here to talk about virtual events and customer relationships.
Yes.
Because a virtual event is not just a moment in time, is it? It's part of that continuum of conversation.
Absolutely. And sometimes it only comes up once a year. So you've got to build into it and then build beyond it.
So what are some of your ideas about getting that engagement going before and during and even after?
So I'm a big fan of using social media, especially around a hashtag, to make sure that you can engage people before the event, get them talking, get them interacting, perhaps even interacting with the speakers before the event even happens. So choosing a hashtag is important because you want to have one that is unique to your event.
Right.
And potentially even unique to this year's event. That can be a way to get people engaged before the actual event happens. And of course, explosion during the event. Thousands and thousands of people can be connecting over the course of the several hours or day event. And then even afterwards can be engaging through social media.
Great. You know, this might sound intimidating to a lot of people. What advice do you have for companies that are making this pivot to virtual events?
The biggest thing I see is that if you're taking your in-person event, typically you have your annual conference or whatever it might be, putting it virtual, throw away everything that you know about putting on that in-person event because it has to be a reimagination. You can't just take what worked in a hotel ballroom or in a theater and then make that work on a screen. It doesn't work that well. So instead, think about what you can do that's different. Think about what you can do that's optimized for this little screen that we have right now. Think about how you can use a beautiful studio like we're in right now and the different ways that you can involve people using this kind of technology. Completely reimagine what's possible.
Now let's talk about during the event. How do you get the engagement going?
So a couple things you can do when the event is actually going on. You can have a back channel. That can either be done through a social network like Twitter or even within the app itself for people to be talking through text typically about what's going on in the event. It's a great way for the audience to become engaged with what's happening on screen. Use polling and the chat feature of what are typically built into the platforms so that people are communicating with one another, communicating with the speakers, and you can gauge what they're thinking through the polling. I love being able to do that kind of thing to make sure that the audience is a part of the event as well.
And then that polling and that information actually gives you content you can use later.
During the talk.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I've often had asked people a question during my talk through the polling feature, and then had that be something that I then referenced in the talk itself. And it makes the audience feel a part of it.
That is awesome. Well, I thank you for being here, and I will look forward to the next event you're speaking at.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me on. This has been good fun.